Hey guys, so the video cut off because I forgot to take off my alarm. My alarm clock literally just stopped the video, so this is going to be a two-parter instead. But anyways, like I was saying to you guys, there's something to do with disruptions, right? Funny how my alarm disrupted the reading too, so that's confirmation too. But again, when it comes to disruptions or dealing with disruptions, you guys still shine, okay? You guys still show up, you guys still illuminate your energy, right? And again, dealing with other people, like I said, they could feel some type of way because you are confident in the way you show up. You're confident in the way you do things, okay? Like I said, some of you guys may have certain placements in your chart that allow you to have more confidence or to allow you to build that confidence a little bit quickly than others, okay? Learning faster than others could also be very significant in a sense of even if you're not, for example, some people think that, oh, because that person has a BA or a bachelor's or a PhD or whatever the case is, they're smarter than me. Not necessarily. Some people learn by reading books, okay? Education is not based on level, okay? Education is based on how you absorb information and how you present that information, okay? So for some of you guys, when it comes to being illuminating, you guys illuminate your light, you guys shine, but not only do you guys illuminate your light and shine, you guys show up in an energy where you bring clarity to certain situations to people. Okay, so again, this could be people, like places and, people, places, things, whatever the case is, right? You bring a lot of clarity to people. But yeah, disruptions could have been very significant when it comes to people either trying to disrupt your energy or disrupt your peace, okay? Disrupt what you guys are building, okay? Yeah, fire energy is very significant. I did mention this about knowledge, okay? So the number 27 is very significant. We also have knowledge, okay? So, number 9 is very significant. Like I said, 999 could resonate for some of you. Okay, even when it comes to your knowledge and wisdom, the number 7 is very significant when it comes to spirituality. Some of you guys have a lot of wisdom and knowledge, okay, hidden within you. Okay, and because maybe you look a certain way, or maybe because you are not maybe what your age describes it to be. Some of you guys look younger than your age. Some of you guys maybe don't act your age, right? And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that you guys always have this inner child energy about you. So because of this freeness that you have about yourself, I think people fail to realize that just because you're free and you're open doesn't mean you won't cuss somebody out, right? Like, doesn't mean that you won't stand up for yourself and speak up for yourself. And I think that's where people get things misconstrued. If you were a child growing up with people that were, family, friends, or whatever the case is, there is something about this energy where people who knew the old you, okay, whether this is friends, family, whoever, it's almost like they're trying to figure out why you changed. And it's like, I changed for the better. For some of you guys thinking this, it's like you changed for the better, not because you wanted to, but because you had to. Some circumstances put us in situations where we have to change to better ourselves, while other people don't want to change, while everybody else wants to be stuck, okay, in the energy that they're in or environment or whatever the case is. You would rather not. Okay, so integrity is very significant. Okay, talisman is also significant. When it comes to keys, okay, keys are very significant. Okay, 1 + 3 = 4. So stability. This could be a new home, a new foundation. Okay, the keys to success. Okay, the keys to opening up new opportunities. Okay, keys to knowledge as well. Okay. But take what resonates with that. We have water energy. Some of you may have water fire placements in your chart. Okay, gratitude is very significant. So some of you guys could be practicing gratitude, or there's something about, having more gratitude when it comes to dealing with people, places, and things. And then we also have home. Okay, so when it comes to matters of a home, some of you guys are coming home to yourself with the number 1010. For some of you guys, this is about wholeness, right? That could be what coming home is to yourself. So whether you're in a relationship or not, whether you have friends or not, okay, being whole within yourself is very significant. Some of you guys are ending cycles, new beginnings, and things like that, okay? Like I said, a lot of people don't realize that they project a lot of insecurities, okay? A perfect example would be just like how we talked about Valentine's Day. Yes, I understand that Valentine's Day is one of those conversations where, there's a lot of history behind it, just like other things, okay? When you find out the truth, you don't want to celebrate certain traditions and certain things like that. But just because people do not believe in that does not mean love does not exist, okay? The reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of people do not fail to realize that Yes, we may learn a lot of information about certain things. We might know certain things, but love is still a higher frequency or high power. It may not be the highest, okay, but it's still high, right? And the reason why I was celebrating it so much is because whether you're in a relationship or not, okay, you should always learn to love yourself every single day, not just one day. And I did say that too, right? But you have people that will project their insecurities. So, for example, it's almost like because my father passed away, does that mean I treat every masculine like crap because I lost a father and I have father wounds? You know what I mean, guys? You guys get what I'm saying, right? So, if you guys are in a relationship and it didn't work out, there's this energy of people not believing in love, okay, or true love. That's fine. You don't have to. But at the same time, do you not love yourself? I think people get things misconstrued. True love doesn't necessarily have to be another individual. True love can be yourself and learning to love yourself and being okay with yourself and attracting people who are like you. So even if you went through certain relationships with friends, family, and things like that, doesn't mean that you have to turn your heart cold. Okay, there are people out there who do. Yeah, are they following, like sheep? Maybe. Okay, yes. But just because someone finds joy and peace and happiness in something doesn't mean that you have to, break down their walls and break down their joy because you're not happy, right? And I think that's where people are misunderstanding things. Just because someone celebrates a tradition, we may know the truth about that tradition, okay? We don't want to do that. We don't want to celebrate it, or we don't care to celebrate it. But don't allow your knowledge to make someone else's situation sad or not happy. They want to be Delulu, let them be Delulu. But at the end of the day, they're happy. Okay, it brings them happiness. And this is what I'm talking about. As chosen ones, we may know a lot of information and knowledge about certain things, but it's how we present it. Okay, if I was somebody who came online, right, and I was mean, I was always talking crap, I was always being a certain way, don't you think people would see that and be like, I don't know, I don't want to be with this one. This one, she's a little bit miserable, okay? A lot of times people don't realize that how they show up, yeah, we don't care how we show up, okay? We're our authentic selves. But at the same time, integrity. Okay, integrity, being very mindful about what you say and how you say things. Okay, even when it comes to like readings, right? If I have a reading that I'm doing for you guys and I see that there's a lot of negativity in that reading, what do I try to do? I try to turn that into a positive. Like, as much as I'm telling you, hey, this is the energy, I try to flip that into a positive so that you guys can walk away with positive energy and not leave with negative energy or fear. Okay, I hate fear-based readings, trying to make people feel like, if I don't have this now, I'm never going to have it ever. That kind of energy, okay? So again, home is very significant. Coming home to yourself may resonate, okay? For some of you guys, even when it comes to loving on yourself, okay, you don't have to love on someone else. No, you don't have to be in a relationship if relationships did not work out for you, okay? Everybody goes through different processes, right? But at the same time, we also have to be respectful. Right? If I see a couple that's married and they're happy, guess what? Certain things do not resonate with them when it comes to other people. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, everyone has a different path. Not everyone's going to understand the path that you're on, right? But even if people do understand the path that you're on, some people can see faults as well. Like, again, I'm not perfect. I never claim to be perfect. But one thing I won't do is, just because I go through certain circumstances in my life, I will never make somebody feel like they can't celebrate that or enjoy that for themselves. At the end of the day, we do what makes us happy, but we shouldn't, stomp on someone else's dreams because we see the truth in something. Okay, veil is very significant for some of you guys, and also release. Yeah, so again, when it comes to releasing and letting go, a lot of times people don't understand that being on your journey means that you guys have to learn, release, and let go. Okay, so again, even if something did hurt you in the past, learn to reopen your heart again, especially when it comes to relationships. I don't trust everybody when it comes to family. Does that mean that I'm going to treat everybody the same? No. Healer at the bottom of the deck, okay? Spiritual cleansing. Some of you guys could be needing to spiritually cleanse your energy because there's something that's attached to your energy that you should have cleansed maybe a while ago, or there's something about getting back into the habit of cleansing energy as well, okay? Yeah, taking action is very significant when it comes to the situation. Ooh. And yeah, within the next few months could be very significant, okay? So take what resonates with that. That could be confirmation. And again, me saying that message is not to cast judgment, because at the end of the day, I'm the last person to judge anybody, okay? But at the same time, a lot of us don't realize that we project a lot of things out there and then wonder why things don't change. Okay, so if you're always talking about being heartbroken, or, you know, F love, I hate love, blah, 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 if you're in that energy constantly, then guess what? You're going to attract people that are like that. You're going to attract people who are going to purposely misunderstand you because you're in that low vibration. Okay, when you keep talking about a subject over and over and over and over and over again, it's one thing to talk about it to teach people. Like me, I don't talk about my past all the time, but I will feel called to talk about something to make you guys understand, like, hey, this is the situation at hand. It happens to us all. You're not alone. But am I going to come online and keep going and regurgitating the same thing over and over? No. For some of you guys are young. Okay, not everybody wants to admit it, but when you're young, we don't know everything. Okay, you learn through your experiences, you learn as you get older, you learn to accept and not accept certain things, okay? So something in the next few months could be very significant. You guys could be taking action, okay? For some of you guys, there's something to do with forgiveness that's very significant. And also when it comes to asking your angels, okay? I'm going to end it here. I won't do charms because I think I'm at like 30 minutes already with the video, because they said like my camera just went out of whack because of my alarm, okay? But again, when it comes to the situation, like dealing with people, places, and things, a lot of people don't realize that the situation is what it is, right? I'm not trying to be cold about it, but it's true. It is what it is, but you have to learn to move past that. Look at me. I've been through jobs. I've left a job. I've either been let go from a job. But does that stop me from doing what I'm doing right now? No. Am I going to be practical? Yes. Because at the end of the day, yes, I do tarot readings, right? This is what I want to do. This is what I'm building. But I also have to make sure I'm financially stable as well. So having a part-time job or looking for another job is also significant. You're not going to sit there and build a business without some type of money coming in. And I think a lot of people think that, yeah, I'm going to start a business and leave my job and do this. You cannot do that. You always have to make sure you have a plan. And even if you don't have a plan and trusting in the universe, you still have to make sure that you have something to hold on to just in case something goes left. Sometimes the universe will let you be in a situation where you have nothing just to see how you work things out, right? It seems cruel, but it's true. So obviously take what resonates with that. Okay. Again, like I said, forgiveness could be very significant. This could be within yourself or a situation, right? Again, with forgiveness, that means letting go and being able to move forward. Okay. When it comes to your situation, like when family betrays you, when heartbreaks happen, when jobs let you go, when all these things happen, right? We forget that we're still human. We're souls in a human experience. Yes, you're not going to be perfect. But at the same time, I don't like when people harbor on the same energy over and over again, because I feel like you're blocking your blessings, right? And this is coming from someone who been there, done that. Okay? When I used to tell people about certain experiences about me, it was to teach them, not to look for pity, not to look for, oh my God, the poor none of that. I told them when I told them so that they could learn from my experiences, not go through what I went through and avoid all of that. And what do people do? They ignored what I said in the past and they thought maybe I was lying or whatever the case is. And now it's almost like ish is starting to hit the fan. And that's the same thing for you guys. Why would I come on here and not share knowledgeable information that you guys can either avoid, okay, you guys don't have to go through it, or you guys can learn from that example because maybe it happened to you, or if it's not the same, you can kind of have an idea, right, what it's like, right? But anyways, guys, I'm going to end it here. I do hope the messages resonate. This one was a little bit more oomph, but I think that message needed to be heard for whoever needed to hear that. And again, this is coming from a loving place, okay? I don't want you guys to be in situations where, you know, you don't need to be in that. You know, sometimes people need to learn their own lessons because of being hard of hearing. Back home, we say, you know, if you don't hear, you must feel. And that's a lot of situations for me. People don't want to hear what I have to say, so they have to feel it for themselves. And some of you guys could have went through situations where people do not listen to the collective, and then, you know, something happens and they're like, oh shoot, the collective was right. And it's like, it's too late though, right? So again, please take what resonates with you. I'm going to end it here. You guys can follow me on YouTube and TikTok. All right, guys. And again, my website, www.mysteriouslyunique.ca. All right. I post blogs and I also post, you know, just regular stuff on there. I have some photos as well, and you guys can book a reading. All right, guys. But anyways, I love you guys so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday. Okay. And I'll see you guys next time. All right, guys. Have a good one. Bye.